Both the older women and the younger women are vying for the same man. They're vying for that older gentleman, maybe in his 30s, 40s. The younger women want a guy like that because he's more established. And the older women want a guy like that because he's more established. And they've made their mistakes and they expect him to come in and swoop down and take care of her after the mistake. So I don't actually believe that older women give younger women the best advice, but I do believe that older men who have gone through certain situations give
young bloods
better advice. Women have historically, specifically at this stage in time, given each other the worst advice. Yeah. Women give each other the worst advice, Jesse, and they listen.
I think it's because women are idealists. That's the issue. You know, in an ideal world, that's not right. Don't do that. Do this in an ideal world, but we don't live in an ideal world, so you can't give idealistic advice in a realistic environment.
Well, yeah, but I actually agree with you. This woman, Tyrese's wife, Samantha Love, I believe her name is, or something along those lines. She is now regretting. Basically, she's saying she regrets, filing for divorce. But it's too late. It's too late. Tyrese has moved on. And the advice that women give each other in these days and times, Kevin Samuels spoke about. He spoke about this. And women consistently, like I said, have been giving each other the worst advice for the longest time. Because women are in competition with one another. I've said this before, right? Women are in competition with one another. And if you don't believe me, then as a woman, all you do is that you get your nicest dress on and you spruce yourself up, put your nicest shoes on, etc., etc., and then walk around a group of women and watch their looks. Those women are looking at your hair, they're looking at your makeup, they're looking at your dress, they're looking at your shoes, they're looking at your ass, they're looking at your elbows, looking at your knees, they're looking at everything. Because women are constantly in competition with each other and trying to outdo each other. And this is why women give each other the worst advice, because they live in an ideal world and women will do things like have a girlfriend that should change her dress. She should change her dress, and she does look fat in the dress. And the friend will ask, "Do I look fat in this? Should I change this?" No, girl, you slay. Yes. Slay. Yes. Is that what they do, Jesse? Yes. Slay, girlfriend. Women don't give each other the right advice. And this is why, in my personal opinion, I took to the streets. If you guys are in my algorithm right now, if you go on my channel, you can see my video asking, are Black women out of control? Specifically, Black women. I actually personally believe that women in the West generally are out of control. I don't really specify the race, but because I'm Black, I used Black women. But yeah, they have consistently given each other the worst advice, and I believe that they've descended into madness, Jesse.
Do you think they give bad advice on purpose, or do you think they're just naive to what's right and what's not right?
I think they give bad advice on purpose. Do you know why I say that? I say that because you see, as an older gentleman, I consult men, right? I consult men going through family courts, men going, co-parenting situations, that kind of stuff. And what I tend to do with the men is that I tend to try and steer them down a path that I never went down because I know the pitfalls that I had. Older women don't tend to do that with younger women. Older women will make mistake after mistake after mistake. And then when a younger woman comes along, she won't give her the right advice not to make the same mistakes. As a matter of fact, she'll be like, yeah, girl, you slay. You do it, girl. And I think that's what's wrong with women, because essentially the older women, let's say somewhere in the realm of 40s, and let's take younger women in their 20s. Both the older women and the younger women are vying for the same man. They're vying for that older gentleman, maybe in his 30s, 40s. The younger women want a guy like that because he's more established. And the older women want a guy like that because he's more established. And they've made their mistakes and they expect him to come in and swoop down and take care of her after the mistake. So I don't actually believe that older women give younger women the best advice, but I do believe that older men who have gone through certain situations give
young bloods
better advice. I do that.
Slow down, young blood.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, let me school you. Come, let me tell you. No, don't do that, bro. Because if you do that, that will happen. Blah blah blah. Women don't do that.
I feel like, obviously, I've got a kid now, yeah,
Yes.
and I want him to be good. When I see my boy do something good, yeah, even though it's him doing it, I'm like, yeah, like I live vicariously through his success,
Right.
and I can only speak from a male's perspective, and I like to see that. And I don't know if women have the same thing. Do they look
Do you
at
know
other
what?
women?
Do you know what's very prevalent within female households is that they war with their daughters. Women are at war with their daughters, bro.
No, I know that. I'm very aware of that.
Yeah. So whereas I'm not going to be at war with my son, you will. My son's 11 now. You've got how old is your son?
In dog years, or
How old is your dog?
well, the dog is 3 years old.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So your son's 3.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So at some point in time, once he gets to a teenager, he's going to want to test his muscle.
Mhm.
He's going to use you to test it on because there's
Mhm.
no one else around. Do you know what I mean? Generally,
Mhm.
you got to put him in his place, but it won't be a consistent thing generally for men. Whereas women, as they're growing up, a lot of the time are consistently in competition with their younger daughters, which is why when you go on social media, you can find a lot of women who are trying to dress like their daughters. They're trying to dress like their daughters, go to the same places as their daughters, trying to be a young, hot mum just like their daughters. They are in competition with their younger daughters consistently all the time. No?
I mean, the thing is, when it comes to things like that are consistent amongst all peoples of the same
Yeah, race,
or whatever, yeah,
culture.
I just say it's just down to genetics. Like they can't change it.
They can't change it.
It's not intentional. So like we can't even talk down. I mean, if
But
it's true,
but the thing is, don't you think there comes a time where you've got to try and change something that is detriment to you?
yeah, if you're aware of it's detriment, but if you're not aware, how can you change it? How can you address it if you're unaware? That's
Not-
why we have you, Mr. Garvey,
That's
Mr.
why
I
you're
hate black women. You're here to
apparently
teach them. That
I mean, this is gonna be great content for them today, isn't it? me hating black women. But yeah. You know what I was actually thinking about? I was actually thinking about the modern day mothers, because I keep going back because this is close to me because I talk to men.
You're the man whisperer.
The the women nowadays, there's a new challenge on TikTok, right? Women, this is not men now. Women are getting their children, they're setting up the camera, and they're saying to their children, I don't know if you've seen it, they're saying to their children, look, I know I told you not to curse bad words. I know you're not supposed to say bad words, but you can get them all out.
You're only going to cuss in the bathroom, okay? This is just something that you're going to be allowed to do because mommy said so.
Bro, you've got 3, 4, 5-year-olds on there cursing the craziest stuff, which means they've heard it. But I'm like, why would you set that up for children to do? Why? Why do you want your child on the internet, which never forgets, cursing and using the worst words known to mankind for everyone to be entertained by it? Why? And I just realized there's something going on with the mothers of today. Also, there's a thing, Jesse, I know you've got a boy, I've got a boy, but men have got this thing of, we want to keep our daughters off the pole.
Yes.
We don't want our daughters to become strippers.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. Stay off the pole.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, do you know that you've got women on the internet? I don't know if you've seen the video of women, mothers taking their daughters to stripper classes and pole dancing classes.
So this is an interesting one, TikTok. A fitness studio in Paragould, Arkansas announced they were going to host a mother-child pole dancing class after a woman came up to the owner of the studio and said she wanted to do a class with her granddaughter.
And they don't want the daughter to surpass them.
What? So they're setting the daughters up to fail?
I thought I said this earlier. Yeah, no. So this is something I realized a long time ago, that a lot of mothers do not want their daughters to be better than them.
Whereas men, I would love my son to be better than me.
Exactly.
Oh
You know,
my
how
God.
proud I'll feel. I would live vicariously through him. Like my son can be benching like 6 plates, not 6 plates. Let's be 4 plates, and I'll be like, yeah, I did that.
You're making me think, is that the reason why so many fathers push their sons into like sports, boxing and
Yeah.
stuff? And they're in their corner and they're watching their son like,
And
yeah, get him, son, go on.
Look at John Fury, Tyson Fury's dad. Last fight, yeah, I saw John Fury topless on the way, and I'm like, yeah. I wasn't even mad at it. Like, how much of Floyd Mayweather Sr. do we hear?
Oh, all the time. He loves the fact
Yeah.
that his son's better than him.
Yeah,
I mean, he still talks.
There's
but
another boxer. It's like Danny Garcia. His dad,
Danny Garcia's dad.
Angel Garcia. He's always talking. Like, that's my boy. Like,
Chris Eubank now with Chris Eubank Jr.
there we go. Like, we live in vicariously for our sons. Like, it's as good as us doing it.
Lewis Hamilton
There we go.
with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
Fathers want to live through their sons, whereas you're saying mothers want to keep their daughters at the worst because they don't want them to excel them.
I guess so.
Do you know what's so funny? There's a story I could tell, but it's just too personal. You're actually right.
No,
I've seen it with my own eyes. You're actually right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Let's not say all, because not all of us, but there's a lot of mothers out there that are in competition with their daughters and don't want their daughters, because you know what it is? Their daughters are a younger, prettier version of them.